What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of AEW Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a WWE Superstar Leaving, Shane McMahon welcoming AEW, Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews get married, Roman Reigns has a big heart, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. As always, won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, MJF puts over Garcia. Is Daniel Garcia getting a push? Now, we touched on this last week, noting how Garcia has floundered since his run with the Ring of Honor Pure Championship and the time in the Jericho Appreciation Society. However, recent events suggest AEW is giving Garcia another chance, and having MJF praise him and how he's grown is a good move. Even if MJF is swerving Garcia and he attacks him, this gives him time to work with arguably AEW's biggest star, and judging from the interaction Garcia had with Will Ospreay, Daniel has another top opponent waiting. Number 2, a wild card adds suspense to the Owen Hart Cup. The Elite's announcement of the wildcard entrant into the Owen Hart Cup has many fans speculating that this will lead to Adam Page's AEW return. If so, it's a good way to shake up the tournament and keep fans guessing who will win it. This year's tournament is high stakes, as the winner of the men's tournament gets a AEW World Heavyweight Championship match at All In, and naturally, fans are anxious to see if Hangman will steal his way into a win. Number 3, good build-up for Forbidden Door. AEW continued the build-up for Forbidden Door, hyping existing matches and also tweaking the cards, such as switching Tanahashi with Billy Gunn for the Acclaim's Trios match. AEW's pay-per-views are the promotion's biggest asset right now, both in terms of quality and making money. And at this point, AEW needs to do everything to maximize profits from these shows, and hyping fans into ordering them is a must. Number 4, Mina's mistaken bottle blast to Maria. Mina Shirakawa's attempt to get in a last-minute shot to AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm before their Forbidden Door match backfired when she accidentally broke a champagne bottle over Maria May's head instead of Storm, who wisely ducked. This spot was well played, as it showed Mina's willing to cut corners, but she may have lost her friend Maria May's support, leaving fans guessing whether she'll side with Toni Storm now. May's already conflicted, but a bottle to the head is a way of changing alliances. And fantastic performance from Ospreay and Swerve. Dynamite's tag team main event was a superb showcase for Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland in advance of their Forbidden Door match. Although the Gates of Agony had zero chance of winning against Ospreay and Strickland, despite AEW using the cliched "can they coexist" bit, they made their opponents look good and gave Will and Swerve spots to show what they will do this Sunday. That was a good. What about the bad is number 1, not enough background on international stars. Who are all these international stars competing at Forbidden Door? Fans already need a scorecard to gauge Sunday's show, but sadly, AEW hasn't done its part to let fans know who are all these various wrestlers from outside AEW. While some of AEW's fans follow products like New Japan closely, not everyone does, and casual fans thinking of ordering the show may pass as they don't know some or all of the names involved. Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné continues to give ammunition to her critics, who argue she's overrated both in the ring and on the stick. While it's unfair to expect Moné to wrestle every week, especially in AEW with its limited schedule, she's been sleepwalking through promos and she needs to step up her grabbing game. The honeymoon period is over, and she can no longer just show up and bask in the cheers following a lengthy absence from wrestling. She needs to understand she has to create engaging promos before fans begin tuning out. Mercedes' situation is unfortunate, as the rest of AEW's women's division is picking up steam. And number 3, Wanted, must-see show. While AEW and Warner Brothers are dismissing last week's record-low ratings for Dynamite, changes are needed. AEW needs big shows with marquee matches and assorted interviews and angles that keep fans tuned in. Last night's Dynamite was decent, but decent isn't cutting it when your ratings are bottoming out. It was nothing downright ugly. Dynamite had the usual array of standout matches, such as Rey Fenix vs Jay White. However, nothing stood out as special, and AEW must find a way to make Dynamite must-see TV. What did you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our top story looks at a WWE Superstar leaving. Oh, it's official, WWE Superstar Dijak is leaving the promotion. WrestleVotes is reporting, per his X account, Dijak will be finishing up with WWE tomorrow, 28th June, after WWE decided to not renew his contract. The WWE has many talents signed who are doing very little on television, and some fans are surprised the promotion hasn't cut its roster further. In that tweet, he posted a letter which read, "Here's the truth. WWE never negotiated with me. We attempted to negotiate and they stonewalled us. They never made me a single offer, and then they informed me that they would not renew my contract at the 11th hour. 2 months ago, I was in one of the best matches in NXT history and the top match of WrestleMania weekend. On that day, a top executive in WWE told me I was crushing it. I was slated to feud with the NXT title, but I got called up to Raw instead. I consistently outperformed everyone's expectations, especially throughout 2023 and early 2024. I never complained about anything or was difficult to work with. I tirelessly pitched ideas to anyone who would listen. As recently as the day before, I was notified. I never once missed a booking, and I was injured one time in 7 years for 3 months. I'm thankful, disappointed, but also excited. This has lit a fire under me to relentlessly prove myself to the world. All I ever wanted was a fair shot, and now I have the opportunity to go out and take it. That's enough talk. Now it's time to do or Dijak. My last day under a WWE contract is June 28th, 2024. But will you guys miss Dijak in WWE? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up is Shane McMahon welcoming AEW. Now, recent comments from AEW President Tony Khan are very interesting regarding whether Shane McMahon is welcoming AEW. Khan recently commented, "I heard the rumor he might be interested. I never met Shane, but we have a lot of mutual friends. I have a lot of respect for him as an executive and professional wrestler. Shane is always welcome in AEW. Unlike Vince McMahon, Shane O'Mac has no baggage and he remains a favorite with wrestling fans who enjoy his willingness, well, some might say eagerness, for taking sick bumps when he wrestles. In case you haven't been following this story, it's largely a wild rumor as Shane hasn't discussed jumping to AEW. Nevertheless, the rumor of him jumping to AEW has fans talking." Khan also discussed past guest performers and whether he'd bring them back. One name discussed was NBA great Shaquille O'Neal. "I would love to have Shaq back in AEW anytime he's available. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all time and he's extremely talented on it in a number of roles. Shaq is also the greatest celebrity wrestler in wrestling history, but what people didn't see is what happened backstage. When he wrestled in AEW, he went around backstage and showed respect to all the wrestlers. He told the wrestlers, 'I want to make you look good.' It was unbelievable. That's the most recognizable athlete on the planet doing that." Would you guys like to see Shaq back in AEW? And what of Shane McMahon? Do you think he'll ever go to AEW? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, are Censors paying close attention to AEW? Are Warner Brothers Discovery Censors paying close attention to some of AEW's content? If you watch Dynamite regularly, and if the recent ratings are any judge, that's a big if, you know AEW often allows wrestlers to use adult language that falls one step short of the F-bombs. However, Ringside News noted Warner Brothers Discovery, the parent company of AEW, appears to have adopted a stricter stance against profanity on their broadcasts. In the past, AEW Dynamite segments often included frequent swearing, but recently, many previously accepted words and phrases are now being censored. This was very apparent on the June 26th episode of AEW Dynamite, where the likes of MJF faced censorship during his promo. Meltzer commented on this possible development. "There's definitely something that's changed in WBD when it comes to language, because they were bleeping tame stuff and they used to let almost everything go. Somebody somewhere has decided that what they were doing before is no longer kosher. With AEW looking to sign a new rights deal with WBD, it's in AEW's best interest to keep their cable partner happy. Have you guys noticed any changes to AEW's content in terms of language? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Roman Reigns has a very big heart. Roman Reigns recently showed incredible personal courage when he visited some hospitalized children at the Joe DiMaggio Children's Center. While WWE superstars are known for taking time to visit kids battling injuries and/or illnesses, this was noteworthy because it happened one day after Roman's father, Sika, passed away. The fact that Reigns has already had an incredibly hectic schedule and yet found time to visit these kids shortly after his father's death is simply amazing. Next up, a former WWE Tag Team Champion headed to AEW. Could AEW fans see former WWE superstars Mason Mansoor in AEW? A recent report from Fightful Select notes that the two were spotted backstage at recent episodes of Dynamite and Collision. Mason Mansoor, who worked in WWE as a Maximum Male Models, are now competing as MXM. The Fightful report noted Sean Ross Sapp learned from AEW sources that while it's not a definite, the two have been discussed for appearances on the Ring of Honor brand. We've not been told if a deal has been signed as of yet. However, there were some materials prepared in the event that they end up working in Ring of Honor. Although Mason Mansoor's TV time was scarce in the WWE, the duo were praised for their work at live events, and apparently the team was getting over with the fans. AEW and Ring of Honor are packed with talent, and it's unknown just how MXM would be used, or if they even have a chance to do anything, they should sign with one or both promotions. They may be better off competing on the indie circuit where they have a greater control over their career and perhaps even better pay. And finally, Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews get married. Last but not least, congrats to Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews on their recent nuptials. The two Australians who announced their engagement last August were married on 26 June, with Ripley posting a photo of their nuptials along with this message, "Till death, 23rd June 2024. But there you have it, guys. Have a look at Dynamite as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.